If you're trying to be more frugal or just trying to save an extra dime or two, stay tuned to the end of this video where I'm going to share my #1 tip on how I save money on things that I don't buy. This one tip alone could save you nearly $1 million. Welcome back. My name is Kellen. On this channel, we talk financial independence, investing, budgeting, and savings. We bring you new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing below and leave us a like and a comment on ways that you like to save money by not buying stuff. Your likes and comments are really appreciated and they help the channel to grow. Jumping right in with credit cards. This one's not really so much a thing that I don't buy, but it's more of a philosophy. I don't buy anything on credit cards that I cannot pay off in the same statement period. The average credit card debt in America in February 2020, according to USA Today, is $6,200. At the low end, let's assume a 17% interest rate on a $6,200 debt. That would cost you $88 per month in interest. And the credit card company is only making matters worse when they offer you low minimum payments like $25 a month when your interest alone is $88 a month. This is to create a never-ending cycle where you never get out of debt. If I can't afford to pay for something in cash, then I can't afford to pay with it on a credit card. The second thing that I don't buy is rental car insurance. The idea of buying separate insurance on a rental car is, let's just say, it's not doing you any favors. The rental car company is almost making more money on selling you insurance than they are on renting you a car. According to NerdWallet, the average cost for rental car insurance is between $10 to $30 a day. What? And you should check with your credit card companies and your insurance providers. Between the two of these, it's very likely that one of them will cover your rental car for insurance and you don't need rental car insurance whatsoever. The third thing I do not buy is extended warranties. I have never ever been a fan of extended warranties. It's always turned me off when I'm in a store trying to buy something and the sales guy's like, hey, I have this extended warranty, it's only $100. And I'm thinking to myself, why would I want an extended warranty? I'm buying a brand new product. It's almost like the sales guys know their products are junk. Now, I may be intrigued by policies that have lost, stolen, or broken coverage, but if they're just strictly extended warranties that only extend the manufacturer's warranty, that's a strict no-go. There's a reason that companies, especially retail companies, push their extended warranties so hard, making sure that all of their employees get a certain number of signups or purchases of the warranty per day, otherwise they get written up or reprimanded. The reason is they make a killing on selling extended warranties. It is a pure profit generating machine for them. Another point to consider is that most products you buy will have a standard manufacturer's warranty of 1 year. And if you call your credit card company and ask them if you purchase an item with your credit card, if they have any coverage or protection, most card companies do offer such a coverage and you're not having to pay extra for it. The fourth thing that I don't spend money on, movie theater candy. Going to the movies used to be one of the favorite pastimes that we did as a family. Pre-illness, you know which one I'm talking about. We probably went to the movies at least once a month. And being a frugal guy, it was hard to stomach the cost of buying 4 tickets plus the cost at the concession stand. So we tried to hack our way to getting to go see the movies more often. We typically only would go to matinee showings, which are usually half the price of a primetime ticket. In addition, we bought a Cinemark monthly plan that gives us 1 free ticket every month and 20% off of concessions. So we can get our popcorn and drinks at the concession stand, saving 20%. And if we want candy, we will pre-plan that and buy it at Walmart, or sometimes we'll even go to a candy store for the same or less than buying a teeny tiny box of candy at the movie theater. The fifth thing that I save money not buying is haircuts. This is another thing that has changed since the illness. We stopped getting haircuts because we couldn't go out of the house. Well, as a result, we bought an Amazon haircutting kit for really inexpensive. I think it was somewhere like $25 or $30. And so my wife has been cutting all of our hair, me, the 2 boys, and herself. We are saving an incredible amount of money doing this. Between having 3 boys in the house who get haircuts every 3 or 4 weeks, I estimate that we are saving between $700 to over $1,000 a year if we continue to cut our own haircuts. The sixth thing we save by not buying is name brand goods at the grocery store. So we've been buying off-brand goods at the grocery store for as long as I can remember. I estimate that we save about 20% on our grocery bill doing this. And for a family of 4, I've estimated this saves us around $1,400 a year. And to be honest, I can't tell the difference, and neither can my kids. I bet if you did a blind taste test between a name brand and a off-brand, I bet you couldn't tell the difference either. The seventh thing that I don't buy is clothes. Now, obviously, I do buy clothes, but I don't buy very much of them. And what I do is most of my closet is made up of about half of t-shirts like the one I'm wearing, and the other half is business clothes with your long sleeve shirts and your dress slacks. Now, I do have about 3 pairs of blue jeans, and I typically have about 2 pairs of shoes, 1 to 2 pairs of shoes per year. The biggest thing with clothing is just don't buy name brand, and don't buy them all the time. If you don't buy them all the time, you'll find that it's very easy saving money on clothing. Now, we do have a moderate clothing budget for a family of 4. A lot of that goes to our kids. So we have 2 boys and they're growing quickly all the time. It is nice having 2 boys though, because we are able to pass down clothes from the oldest to the youngest as he outgrows them. The 8th thing that I save money on by not buying is lawn care service. Now, lawn care service, I typically spend about 2 hours a week working on it. Between not paying for a lawn care service and a service to do the fertilization and the weed control, I estimate that I save at least $1,200 a year. And I really like it because it's a nice break from my everyday routine, and I get a little bit of time to go outside, get some extra sunlight, and get some extra steps throughout the day. So for me, it's a win-win, saving money, doing something that I enjoy. I'm also looking forward to when my boys get a little bit older, starting to teach them about how to care for a lawn is really something I'm excited about. Teaching them about the pride of home ownership and teaching them all the ways of taking care of a lawn is something that I'm really excited and looking forward to doing. The 9th thing that I don't spend money on buying is new cars. When people buy new cars and say it's an asset, I think it's crazy. I'm gonna walk you through buying a new car and the depreciation over a 5-year period. The depreciation in the first year alone is 25%. Total depreciation over 5 years of 62%. That means if you buy a $35,000 new car, in 5 years, it's only gonna be worth something like $13,000. Depreciation starts off with a new car at a very high rate, and as the age of the car increases, your depreciation rate does go down. So I always recommend buying a 5-year-old or older car, which has already taken the majority of the depreciation hit. And it's really great because you're gonna get a good, reliable car that's already been well depreciated. And again, a car is not an asset, it's a liability. Every car you ever own will depreciate. It really just depends on the year, make, and model of the car to determine the amount of the depreciation. The amounts that I've given you are averages. So some cars will have higher depreciation rates and some cars may have lower depreciation rates. In those 5 years, you've lost over $21,000 alone in depreciation. This is why a car is not an asset, it's a liability. My number 1 tip on saving money on things that I don't buy, do you remember that one I promised you earlier where you could save almost $1 million? Well, here it is. The 10th thing that I don't buy is mutual funds with high expense ratios. I don't buy mutual funds because typically they have high expense ratios. And so really when you're comparing a mutual fund, which is usually actively managed, to an index fund, which is passively managed, I would always go with an index fund. When comparing the two, mutual funds and index funds, there's been a lot of research done that says very few money managers can outperform the average market over a long-term period. With that knowledge, why would you ever pay for the privilege to underperform the market? You're much better off just going with an index and buying the whole stock market. That way you avoid all the excessive fees. The average cost for an expense ratio of an actively managed mutual fund is 0.86%. whereas the average cost of a passive index fund is only 0.03%. That's a savings of 0.83% just buying the market versus buying with a mutual fund where you're not guaranteed performance, and most of the time you're not even going to perform as well as the market. Now you may be saying to yourself, expense ratios don't really matter to me because my portfolio size is still pretty small, but consider it this way. When you have a larger portfolio, expense ratios are gonna make a much bigger impact. For example, a $1 million portfolio with a typical 0.86 management fee versus if you had bought an index fund, that difference will be $8,300 a year in management fees that you would have saved buying the index fund. What's really interesting is when you compound this savings over a long-term period. So let's go ahead and do it. $8,300 compounded over a 30-year period, which is about the average length of time for a retirement at an 8% interest rate, is $940,000. This isn't even as large as the number could be. Now hear me out. That savings is considering that you have a flat portfolio size. But what's actually more likely to happen is that your portfolio increases over the $1 million, and thus the management fee would only grow over time. So if you went with a passive index fund versus an active management fund, your savings wouldn't just be $8,300 a year. They would actually probably be much larger. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing below, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a new episode. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.